안녕하세요. Let's answer some more of your questions about Korea. Would it be too dangerous to visit the DMZ? So the DMZ is the demilitarized zone in Korea. Even though it is known as the world's most dangerous border, it is no threat to visitors or civilians. Although it's still an active war zone, it has become a place of sustainable peace. Therefore, it's very safe to visit. About 1.2 million visitors come every year, but you're only allowed to go on their official DMZ tours led by a licensed tour guide. Don't forget to bring your passport. Where is the best, not so touristy place to visit? I recommend to you Haebangchon. Haebangchon is in the Yongsan district and it used to be a refuge for those fleeing from the war. So it used to be one of Seoul's most deprived places. However, recently it's turned into one of the most trendiest places where it's packed with good cafes, good restaurants, bars, and cute streets full of wall arts. I love their exciting energy, so you should definitely check it out. How do I address my in-laws? Good question, because in Korea, depending on whether you're female or male, you call your in-laws different names. So let's start with, if you're a female like me, you would call your in-laws 시어머니 and 시아버지. And if you're a male, you would call your in-laws 장모님 and 장인어른. Is baseball a major sport in Korea, and which team should I visit? So yes, Koreans love baseball. It is a very big major sport in Korea. And if you're not cheering for a specific team, I think you should just go to a game that they're playing in the city that you are staying at. Each team has different cheers, songs, and lyrics for each player and the team itself. So before you go to a game, learn their cheers on YouTube. Normally, baseball season starts in March or April and ends in September or October. 5 tips for first-time travelers. These are my personal tips. Number 1, always carry card and cash. There will be different situations where you need both. 2, if it suddenly rains, go to any convenience stores and they will be selling umbrellas. 3, one of the first things you should do when you arrive in Korea is to buy a T-money card for using public transportations that you can buy at any convenience stores. Number 4, download Naver Maps. You can save restaurants, search for specific routes, check how much a taxi would be, and so much more. Number 5, don't be shy at a restaurant and shout out 여기요 at a restaurant. Trust me, it's very normal. Is vegetarian food available here? So if you come from a country where they have a lot of vegetarian options for you, you may find it a little bit challenging to find veggie options in Korea. This is because a lot of Korean foods are broth-based or they're smothered in different sauces. However, we do have some traditional dishes that you can try, such as the bibimbap. Bibimbap is an assortment of vegetables and an egg on top of rice with the gochujang sauce. Also, a lot of the banchans that you will get at restaurants for free, the side dishes, will also mostly be vegetables. But just to be sure, before you go to a restaurant, be sure to check their menu first and see if they have anything for you, or have a language translation app ready, such as Papago or Google Translate, so that you can communicate with an employee before you order and make sure there are no meat in it. How to ask for directions. Since this is a very generic question, I'll tell you a few key phrases that you can use in Korea when you need to ask for directions. 지하철역이 어디예요? Where's the subway station? 여기 어떻게 가요? When you're showing someone a place or an address and then asking them, how do I get here? 올리브영 어디 있어요? Where is Olive Young? And obviously you can replace Olive Young with whatever place you are looking for. How many people live in Korea? Around 51 million, and is very highly concentrated in Seoul. Pressing the button to cross the road in Korea. Yes, you do not need to press the button to cross the road unless you need voice assistance. This is because in most busy areas, there is a high ratio of pedestrians, so you just wait for the light to change and no need to press. Rules of Korea. I'm going to link a video right now, right here, so that you can watch some do's and don'ts and general tips while you're in Korea. Is Korean easy to learn? Well, yes, in the beginning, because once you learn how to read and write Korean, it's not a memorization thing. If you hear it, you know how to write it, but you may not know what it means. So once you start learning meanings and vocabulary and specific expressions, it does go into memorizing. So that's when it gets a little harder. It is a bit challenging in the sense that Korean is very highly influenced depending on nuance and culture, so keep that in mind. Why do we see so little pets in K-dramas? So statistically, 1 out of 4 Korean households has pets. So if you didn't know already, apartment buildings are the most common type of accommodation in Korea, and many buildings or landlords don't allow pets due to noise or hygiene reasons. Can you explain some typical interactions at a restaurant? So I have a video called Restaurant 101, which I'll link in the description, and it has everything that you can say at a restaurant as soon as you enter until the moment you leave. And typically, you have to actively call for an employee yourself when you're at a restaurant. So don't just sit down and wait. You have to raise your hand, say, 여기요, and call them over so that you can order. Best Kalguksu. I have 2 recommendations for you. First is Myeongdong Gyoza. It originates from Myeongdong, but it has chains all throughout the country, and it is one of the best kalguksus I've had. However, there might be a bit of a wait because it's very famous. Second is Yeonidong Kalguksu. It's near Hongdae in an area called Yeonidong, and it is very unique because it serves your kalguksu in a bone broth. Is it okay to be somewhat forceful in those situations? Yes and no. So during really busy hours where you feel unsafe or feel like you will actually not be able to get off the subway or a packed bus, then added with a little excuse me, you can give a little nudge to get people's attention or let them know that you have to get off. However, it shouldn't be to the point that people are hurt. Is all good food spicy? No. Let me recommend some of the most delicious foods that I like that are not spicy. Japchae is a soy sauce-based noodle dish. Korean barbecue. Do I need to explain that? 불고기 is a stir-fried beef or pork. 삼계탕 is a chicken and ginseng soup. 전 is Korean pancakes. And kimbap. So those were my answers and tips about the questions that you guys have asked me. And as always, I'm going to link some useful sources in my descriptions, so check that out. And if you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more Korean contents.